Hello, my name is Cat Richmond from the Field of Grace. What if life was very simple? Have you ever asked yourself why you are here on this earth? Do you realize you've had other lives? Do you ever remember them all? Do you know what karmic events you have with other souls that are here now on this earth? The answer will always be no. From all the research we gather, it appears we have evolved from atoms of gas. A nucleus, some may call a force, a consciousness, some refer to as a god. It appears to be a major energy center close here in the universe. It appears to people as they need to see it. The force has sent deities down to this earth as we need it. We have had representatives here of the Buddha, a Krishna, the Jesus, the Shirdi Baba, and recently a Sai Baba, to name a few. All have talked about the same things. All life contracts are the same, no matter what religion you are, if any at all. They are to love all souls unconditionally, to show no judgment to all souls, and to karmically evolve through any life contracts that have not been a success. Of course, we must, being of service, being the most loving and helpful at whatever we do to make a difference in this world. By being an observer, remembering you are not the body, you are an eternal soul that has had many existences, you are quickly able to run in a higher vibrational pattern, thus creating a peaceful lifestyle of love and abundance, being on purpose. Your energy is no longer taken up in the day-to-day trappings of the television, news, stories, gossip, and idle chatter. All religions have taught us that it is all about love. So I'd like you now to review your life as an observer. Close your eyes for me. Picture someone in your life that up until today you had thought of as not pleasant towards you. It could be a family member, a friend, or a work colleague, or a person that you have met. With your new life formula, apply it to this soul. Do you know all of your past lives? No. Do you know the past lives of that person you're thinking of? No. Are you extremely evolved beings such as a Buddha, a Krishna, the Jesus, that when you walk or talk people stop in awe to hear your loving teachers? I think not. So now that you have answered no to all questions, you realize that you've had a case against you that the person you are now you may be in disharmony with. It appears you are coming from judgment and not in unconditional love, even ego of wanting for you to be right. So, if you have ever had a previous life and it has not ended in harmony, we appear to redo that contract with the same souls, often just in different positions in our other lives. We must be concerned only on how we perform here on earth, as we are being watched by the consciousness, the force, the angels, and guides at all times. Through regular sitting in silence, meditation, even taking 5 minutes or so, depending on how serious you are, to send out thoughts, asking for communication from higher beings to help you on your journey. If you ask for proof that you are not alone on this trip, You have many wonderful angelic beings awaiting to assist you. If doing a gratitude now, thoughts prayer daily for what you do have on this earth, sending healing energies to all those who cross your path, who seem now to disappear, sending healing to the animals and to the planet. New opportunities now, not only for you but for all others, will now be attracted to you. Your gifts, your discipline, your dedication to the force now come along without a struggle. Every last one of us is here on an earth to make a difference. But if we choose to believe that an event or a person has created disharmony for us, when we take prescription or illegal drugs or do alcohol, we mask what communication we need to receive. All pain and illness is brought to us by our thoughts on this life and our pre-lives. All is curable through changing your life to one of love and kindness and detoxing your body. You cannot go into the world if you are angry with how you think situations are and have success. As your consciousness awakens at a certain age, a time clock goes off in your mind. Why am I here? What is my life purpose? What is this all about? You may look around you and say the world is a dreadful place. Only sending positive thoughts of peace and love will alter this. This is called absent healing, a very powerful tool. Do you think the life force, the guides and all the powers that oversee the earth plane would not change things in a second if they wanted to? Of course they could. But if they did, there would be no karmic debt paid, not the chance for us to spiritually evolve. There would be no life experiences here, no debt for us to repay from failed contracts. Suffering is a part of each person's spiritual growth. It is then we develop faith and trust in a higher source, that how we get through all events change. It is a valuable lesson, and those experiencing the physical are graduating through it. It is impossible for us to judge accurately another one's life because we are not privy to all the information of their life contracts. We must not take on other people's stories or contracts. Through silent sitting for that person, we may assist them. How often have you begun a project only to have a well-wisher take the tools from your hands? That frustration is what happens in a cosmic sense in the world today, as well-wishers rearrange other people's circumstances to fit their view on how things should be. If you want to change the world, change yourself. Then others will be pulled to what you are and will change themselves. And all will come to you as a gradual understanding, for observation is power. Judgment weakens. When you establish a discipline and maintain it for a while, the energy of your guides and your higher self will begin to flow, and you will feel their presence. It will be a voice from above, but a communication from within. It will be important for you to give credence to that communication. Acknowledge it. The difference between the sage and the ordinary man is the former receives a communication from within, he acts, while then the later thinks it is not true. Being in flow and part of the universal life force will allow you to become sensitive to inner promptings, and although they may be fate feelings for some of you, more acknowledge the communication, the more the guides and the universe will now answer you and communicate. Often inner symbols now will appear to us, reoccurring songs, books, tokens, coins may appear, feathers, unexplained scents and smells. Dreams will now come to you, and a knowing intuition will develop. On your first part of your life journey, you will go through what you perceive as some form of hardship. Remembering that you are unaware of what your mission is, you may have to go through all events to know what that vibration felt like just because of a failed contract in a previous mission from another life. One thing we can be sure of is we are never alone. We may be still floundering in an old energy pattern, but it is important for you to believe what you hear and feel. Intuition has a great power. It is the higher self communicating, showing you which way to go. It is a voice that you enter the aircraft that says, sit here, and you will find yourself next to the very connection that you had been hoping to make for 10 years. It is the power out ahead of you that will open doors and clear your path. But you have to be ready to do the walking, carry the load, so to speak. It is there guiding you, and everyone has experienced it from time to time. As you open to the guide now, you forge a permanent link, a connection that allows you a sensory perception of other planes of existence. It is an inner communication that is moving at a vibrancy much greater than what you are used to. That is why you are not generally aware of this presence. Gradually, as you raise your energy, you begin to hear, you'll see and feel the communication much more strongly. It does not happen overnight, and your progress is less predicted on how well you establish the disciplines in your life. Once you have mastered discipline and balance, you can familiarize yourself with the manner of communication. Since your whole life is a symbol, a synchronicity interplay of your inner energy, the communication can come from anywhere. As you raise your energy, the synchronicity or the counterplay moves faster and faster, and you automatically link your consciousness to all that is around you. Asking for guidance will only be now directed intuitively. The word coincidence and hope will no longer be in your diary. It will be replaced with synchronicity and trust. Once in flow, you are actually linked the whole cosmos, and nothing is a coincidence, absolutely nothing. There are signs, lessons everywhere, in the things people say, in the circumstances that unfold through your life, also in the things that you move about you. The higher self is supple. It does not knock at your door. It allows gradual growth as you discover a deeper and deeper meaning to the world around you. Your energy, all of your thought patterns have vibrations. Your electromagnetic field, called the aura, stores all of your current life and past life vibrational memories, negative and positive thoughts. New thought patterns now are dimensional. You are in a space, and the only thing that bars you from experiencing this newfound divinity and your life purpose is the compatibility between your thoughts, energy, and of how much faith and trust you now develop. Your thoughts create your reality. The mind is the computer that stands between you and the whole glory of the cosmic experience. However, it does perform a vital function, for without the constraints of the mind and its physical housing, the brain, you would be overwhelmed by this incoming now sensory information. Your brain acts as an inhibitor, holding you to the physical plane long enough to experience this trip. You will now rediscover your higher self. This powerful connection lies waiting for you, and no matter what stage you find yourself, a sage or a novice. If you're in a holding pattern, still thinking that you've done enough, you obviously have not. You cannot reach the dimension of your higher self by following a creed, no matter whom or what. Right or wrong, you have to do this all yourself. Your life, your decisions, your experience of events. When you're in your higher self, you will find you can manipulate now your own destiny. But you cannot reach that level of metaphysical ability by following someone else. No psychics can tell you your destiny. You have to be out on your own, accepting your own promptings, your own inner messages, picking up a study book, searching for answers. When you explore different energies in temples and retreats, it is all now about what you find when you do this in silence. Often those friends and families that you leave behind now will react. They will want you to endorse their point of negative views and supports their own belief system. But once you come into your higher self, you develop a special independence, a newfound knowing. To go beyond the earth plane, you have to be able to accept it. It is to see beauty within, no matter what you see is all perfect. It is all healed through love. Then you develop the spiritual evolution to leave things as they are, understanding that the force knows what it is doing, and that the pain and suffering and the encasement of the physical are temporary conditions that people actually need for their spiritual growth. You are able to send healing energies, but no judgments. Once you can step away and cease to judge others, allowing them to be without infringing on them or trying to save them, the last thing they need is someone to save them. You are ready now to go through the discipline to evolve through this physical earth trip. This process can be accomplished before you die, and you literally perceive beyond the physical while still here. Death is not the only way out, but few people have discovered that for themselves. They choose some form of altering substance to numb their life experiences. Metaphysically, that is, if you align with the thoughts and actions, you do become as the cause, as that what surrounds you. You are your thoughts. They do create your health. As each person chooses one path or another, that is why what you are now, right now, is so important. It is an experiment, a higher energy, and all experiences that you've ever had will be a part of your learning pattern that will not disappear at death, but will be transmuted gradually so that you understand yourself in a more loving and magnanimous context. That is why, in a universal sense, there is no sin. Through our studies of regressions, we have found there is no heaven or hell. When we pass, we go to a plane of suspension, with no judgment. We sit with a panel of counsel and guides, call them angels if you like, that are assigned for our trips. Your life is reviewed with you totally understanding the challenges that were set before you. Did you pass all with non-judgment and with love, as it is noted? It is decided that this appears to be a failed contract, and you reassign to do it again with the group that you did not succeed with in other lives. Often taking different roles in the next life, Earth is not the only plane of existence. There are many choices. We can choose to come as animal or plant, depending on what we need to learn. This is why it is important to consider becoming more loving to our fellow animals. When the higher self split into various experiences, it knew there would be a possibility of infringement, restriction and strife and judgment and so on. It's accepted, and that is viewed. It is a learning as a practice session for its energy. As I have mentioned, there is no punishment other than what you feel about your actions, and when you act in the contrary to the universal law, you experience and you attract instant karma to yourself. Your energy, your thoughts are come back to you immediately. It may not always be instant because of the slow vibrational field we are in, but in the cosmic sense it is immediate. In effect, your spirituality is measured by your capacity to be magnanimous to all living things, to truly express that limitless infinity within you, to be pure love and peace. Love is the force that sets you free. We are taught that the force loves us, and then we have to reconcile with that mayhem around us. We watch while various religious groups battle with each other in the name of God, each claiming the force to his sole right, and we wonder what kind of God there must be out there who allows all this war and famine to happen. The answer lies in a deeper understanding of the force and the way that energy flows. The force loves you, but the concept was not probably understood by the philosophers who wrote the holy books that caused the confusion. The love the force has for you is an emotional love that, say, a mother has for her child. It is a love that comes from the fact that the force, the consciousness, loves itself. Therefore, because you are a speck of those atoms that make up it is in you, it loves you, and the way to enhance that love is to love yourself and all beings. By doing so, you consciously concentrate on the force, and that makes it expand within you. This is not an egocentric love, but a love that comes from respecting all things, and the greatest living thing under immediate control is your own self. This means that you have to recognize yourself as God, as the infinite life force, and express that as strongly as possible. Through acts of kindness, we practice magnanimity, and the recipients feel there is a power for good even beyond their misery. We must expect nothing in return. Even picking up rubbish can be making a difference. Concentrate on a God outside of yourself. You exert a power in the wrong direction, and eventually it dissipates, it weakens, and rather than magnifies why you are here. By loving yourself and respecting all things, you complete an esoteric understanding of love, which grants you added power and helps you to grow. When you pass from this earth, you will be noted for what you do, your actions, your words, the difference you make in the community. You are not this body. By loving and caring for you, you are saying what I am is beautiful, what I have is value. I respect what I am, and I understand that each and every second of my life is an extension of the force. Love of self and the respect you show for your body and the mission here on earth is the first step in expanding your consciousness. Most people who wake to a higher sense of consciousness do so through looking at nutrition and health as well. They look at their bodies and they begin to feel that perhaps they can control their experiences in life and their experiences on this earth. This is the first step in understanding the love of the force. This is why physical discipline is the first step of all initiates. Not because anyone cares whether or not your body falls apart, but because concentrating on it and respecting it allows you now to grow your inner self. A healthy vehicle will perform much better. Treat it well. Read labels on bottles and boxes. Do not put chemicals into your body. They are synthetic, and they lock down your health so you cannot heal your own body. Do your own research. Never take anyone's opinion as gospel. Research, research, research. You respect your body by learning a lot about it and taking care of it. The average man cares more about his possessions. Man pollutes his body, he abuses it, and through poor emotional feelings towards other soul, eventually disease sets in. Worse than that, a lifetime passes that without ever having experienced a true heightened power of self. All time is now. For you to be listening to these words, the universe wants this contract to be very successful for you. Man perceives the world through a sluggish body, weak emotions, poor thinking, and then says, "Why is it this way?" The initiative perceives the world from a position of power. He sees all physical events, but he also looks for the non-physical happenings. His five senses expand and accept more information, now using six. We become more intuitive as we grow with love. The unseen world of the initiative is right beside you. It permeates our physical reality. As you grow to become a part of the universe, you will be surprised to find out what you have expected. It is not that. This is because our current belief patterns come out of restrictions of a human mind, from controlling religions and doctrines. Once you cross over to the other worlds, you will find that the speed or quality of the force that those dimensional express grant them as electrifying spontaneity, which makes our ordinary world seem very sluggish. You now raise your energy to the heightened oscillation of the force now can come down to be with you. That is the beauty of the force's impartiality, and that is why evolution of mankind, with all its ups and downs, is such a great awakening. It allows man to eventually understand that only one person who can help him, it is himself. Aid should be given in this way that allows the recipients to help themselves rather than a charity which in effect delays the delay when they have the cosmic realization that they now are in charge. Once you accept true responsibility, loving yourself becomes very easy, for you now understand it is you in control. If you lower your energy by, say, drinking or taking any form of drugs, you cannot blame the force, the consciousness, for any imbalance you now pull to you, because that imbalance is part of an energy pattern you have now created. Everything has a vibration, as science has found. We should be at 62 to 68 hertz, but negative thoughts and chemicals lower this. Cancer becomes radical at 42. So we must be positive and caring at all times. When two cars collide, the event has a metaphysical energy pattern. Both drivers brought themselves to that point in time by their own expression, their feelings, their emotional imbalances or imbalances. The experience has power. The collision, the injuries, the destruction has a vibrational oscillation, an actual metaphysical speed per millionth of a second. The same applies to your body and your life and your thoughts. It totally has a vibrational level that rises and falls according to your moods, your physical conditions, and the extent to which you guard your energy. Positive inspirational events will have a higher frequency rather than negative ones, as they become restrictive. The metaphysical energy of your life constantly moves up and down within the wave band of energy you are able to maintain. Therefore, if a car accident has a lower vibrational speed, energy of attraction moves up and down, depending on your thoughts. Once you let your energy, your positive thoughts, to drop, your chance of misfortune rises dramatically. There is not much luck, a matter of luck, but a matter of your energy being momentarily compatible with the energy of incidences. Energy has spontaneity in the way it expresses itself, so it is difficult to say for certain that a person will definitely experience a particular event, but you can say that those events in a certain range have a high probability of pattern because that person in question has maintained that negative lower energy level. Your life unfolds to the doctrines and of your energy and thoughts, nothing more and nothing less. Once you come to grips with loving self and respecting the force from within you, the band of energy that is you moves faster and faster. The possibility of you being involved in any side of accidents becomes very remote. Your energy then enters a dimension of great positivity and power. This is because of your intrinsic spiritual or vibrational worth will now lead you away from all negative events. As you walk through life, you will interact and deal with many people who are operating at lower vibrational energy patterns than you. While they will be retracted and exhilarated by your vibrational level, they will not follow you for long. It is too hard for many souls who choose to claim that they are a victim of unhappy life, relinquishing in the sympathy they can receive and the benefits of being unwell. As you say, let us rise at dawn and go for a walk, and then we will have a nice green salad, a fresh breakfast. They will become distracted, making excuses, and then they will sound of footsteps gradually getting fainter and fainter, going home for an unhealthy breakfast, and once more sitting in front of electronic devices to numb them. This is the way it should be. Each should follow a path that is now comfortable for him. We all have to be experienced fully the slower energy patterns of pain and suffering before we can go beyond them. Eventually all come to the understanding how energy really works. When your energy rises higher and higher, you will find yourself in a vibration of attracting positive experiences, financial freedom, and loving relationships. Although still on an earth plane, you go much further beyond it. Whenever you concentrate on now will act as a mind as the dimension you are now on. Set goals every day. Keep a journal of the life you want to create to make a difference in this world. Write out positive statements. Turn every negative situation into a positive one. Always remember, could I have karma from another life where I may have hurt this soul? Do I always apply my contract of love and non-judgment no matter what? If you love your body and concentrate the force within, very concentration pulls your energy gradually away from the earth plane. That is because you are going beyond the physical, emotional, and mental dimensions, beyond the ordinary man who fails to see the beauty in all things, who does not expect the responsibility for his own life, who wants to blame others for his circumstances. You now take responsibility for all events in your life and who you are. Expand your acceptance and love of the force. You have to extend that love and respect to all others. Respecting them in a spiritual sense means allowing them to have a spiritual fulfillment without infringing upon their life. They all have their own contracts. But as the initiate tried to force understanding on another, he would only burn himself out and hinder your own progress. The energy of dedicated observation is so powerful that if you couple it with non-judgment, you instantly enhance your own strength. Many people, especially of those who are brought to us in a Western tradition, find it hard to believe, because the whole Christian ethic is about centered at going out, converting others to the fold, feeding them, and closing them in a structured belief pattern, and that is kind of a spiritual scaffolding. This works well for souls that are in their early incarnation, not with much spiritual knowledge. That is why dogmatic, controlling religions do well in poor country, whose inhabitants are in their first few lifetimes on this earth plane, and the structure is just what they need. But when people eventually become more spiritually sophisticated, they incorporate different belief patterns that center on their spiritual individually, away from churches, dogma, structure, and form. They need to experience freedom. They have gone beyond restriction. They want to be free. This does not mean you ignore the pleas of others, but there has to be a spiritual purity in the way you relate to the world. Everything you have and everything you are is on short term. It is on short-term rental from the force. Spiritual growth always involves swimming against the tide. It is a path of love, of tolerance, giving no one your power. It is for those who want to step beyond the physical to a totally different alignment. When a person performs good works, he does not praise. When there is evil, he does not condemn. For he allows each person to experience without infringement. Non-judgment is loving the force within you, and by loving it in others and having the power to go beyond emotions, by leaving them each to his own. Within this universal mind, there is no right or wrong. Clarity deals only with the physical, and if you embroil yourself too deeply in the affair of others, you condemn yourself to a probability pattern lower than your full potential. If you project fear around a situation or person, you lose the trust you have for the force. We are never alone. What is important is that you do not allow a misconceived idea and your obligations to hold you back. Many people fail to develop metaphysically because they've put something else, be it a church, a state, or a family, in front of their own development. You have an infinite potential as your birthright. Nothing should stand in your way. You are an individual. You have been incarnated here to understand yourself, to clear any unsuccessful lives and any debt. A part of this is doing so is to learn to relate to others, your family and loved ones, but eventually it comes down to you on your own. You do not have a responsibility for the growth of others. Your responsibility is to the force within you, and you could never do more for the world than concentrate on that. Even though your contribution may be obvious, on an inner level it becomes of great power. When the expression of the force is faster than that of another, his energy is increased by your presence. That is what is meant by the grace of God, the inner oscillation. It is a power that has a scale of force, and even though we cannot measure it, it runs from high to low. You can train yourself to be aware of it. Everyone you have ever dealt with, everyone you will ever have walked past now has benefited from your energy. If that energy was high and dedicated to the purity of the force, you will never know what your power has done for others. You just express it strongly and sustain it as it protects you. The dedication surrounds you with a mystique that the energy intermingles with others. This is your gift to mankind. Rarely will anyone ever thank you, as rarely thank the sun for shining upon us. Non-judgment, therefore, is your affirmation that the world is beautiful and that all is growth, and that you are going beyond it. Gradually, it disengages you from the earth plane. As you begin to leave, you find a need to resolve all inner conflicts, not only with yourself, but with all other souls. All earth contracts must end in love and non-judgment, or we do them again on our next trip. Look at all situations with your newfound theory. Could I have ever hurt this person in my life or any other life? The answer is always, I do not know. I do know that I may be being tested. I am being watched for my actions and my thoughts at all times by the consciousness. If I cannot resolve a situation with another individual, I send them positive, loving thoughts, remembering they are from the same source as you and I. They too are love. The universal law is a force in motion. It does not expect you to suffer a relationship that does not allow for your growth. In fact, it is a dispassionate way. It wants you to have your freedom in unraveling events, that you clear the way for more energy to flow. By gradually developing non-judgment and non-conflict, you express the force to its highest, and then it grows and helps you grow. As you begin the process of enhancing the force within you, you have to consciously purify your energy at all times. This means taking care to release emotions, guarding against a build-up of negative energy, allowing your thought patterns now gradually to strengthen as you concentrate on life. Remembering to meditate and give thanks every day for what you do have. In the very change you will find creative flows, and the universe around you now creates more abundant opportunities. Many people sit around waiting for the world to discover them. This rarely happens. If you move towards your goals, expressing all of your power, opportunity will find you as a result of your actions, knowing and believing your higher self is with you. You'll be in the right place at the right time. But make this the first move, taking constant care to purify and review your life. Discipline now is the horse that you ride. The force is there, ready and waiting, all loving to receive you. If you are prepared to accept a higher power, you will now step into an extraordinary state of consciousness, and you will find challenging, for it lies beyond you, where you are now moving ever faster and faster. Let us now talk about your life's ultimate goal. Let us review. You are not your physical body, your emotions, or your intellect. You are infinite, limitless energy of your higher self, experiencing for a short while on this earth evolution within your body. The force and you are one with the same, and the more that you align with positive, you move now more with the force you will express. By developing this energy within you, you can learn to communicate with an infinite source of knowledge. This allows an oscillation of spiritual growth, for you will have access to information not from only the past, but from the present and now the future. The knowledge is waiting for you to make use of it, and your personal balance is a key to your access and success. Through balance, you open yourself a door that allows perception of other worlds, and the perception is vital for your journey or quest. Before incarnating into your physical body, your higher self had an opportunity to survey the situation it was about to enter and accept the circumstances of your life as part of all of its goals. It knew that it would succeed in this existence. It knew it would be able to go in with a greater expression and connection of the force. Attached to your higher self is an energy whose responsibility is to assist you in your evolution. Some may call it energy the guides or angels. It is a spirit energy that has completed all of its lives as a human on this earth, now experiencing spiritual evolution as a helper, pushing energy through into the physical plane. Since its progress is linked to yours, your guides, angels and helpers have an interest in making you sure do well on this contract. Often the guide is someone with whom you've had a past life. This is now familiar with your energy and its needs. The function of your guides, helpers and angels is to protect energy or inspiration to allow the maximum unfolding in this existence so that you can attain your life's ultimate goals. The goal is known only to you, your guide and your higher selves. If you are young, it is probably lies ahead of you. If you are old, you have probably gone through a good part of it, but it is always time to fine-tune why you are here. Pulling it all together is one crescendo of energy until finally you leave the earth forever to experience heightened forms of existence into other dimensions. How do you discover the nature of your life's goal? Usually it is in a matter of resolving something within yourself, rather than a mission to save the world. It consists of confronting and going beyond the very thing that you find the hardest to face and deal with, doing it with love. It can be the trials, the tribulations over monies and problems with one's love of self, or through various incarnations that you may have failed to come into natural understanding of sexuality and are here this time to experience motherhood perhaps, or even dealing successfully with your own body away from misuse and possible even guilt. Often your life's goal involves another person or persons. Maybe you are here to resolve conflict with someone that has gone through many other lifetimes. Now you and that person find yourself as mother or son or brother or sister, as husband and wife. This time you are here to deal equally with that person and other family members, remembering all the while that once you elevate yourself metaphysically, you are no longer allowed to infringe upon others. You shall now allow each other to develop at his or her own speed and make their own decisions. If you find yourself in a difficult relationship with someone, you can be sure that that very situation is a part of your life's goal. You have to learn to deal with lovingly, with no judgment, always resolving conflicts as best you can with love, allowing that person his or she highest growth without holding yourself back. Perhaps you find yourself in the burden of some situation of being a custodian of someone or of a spirit evolving a perfect body that needs your high care, or perhaps a family member that is total need of your financial support. Helping that person will probably be a major part of your life's goal. There will be a spiritual reason why you find yourself in this position. By accepting it and working through it with love and service, the situation will change, somehow transcending your difficulties now will step you into freedom. You are now aware of what you owe them in another lifetime. You will stand in the complete glory of your inner self, a spirit, a power, ready to evolve, ready to accept a higher and brighter assignment. Some people's life goal is to express a creative idea, which might be in the fine arts, in business or land, or other capacity where you challenge yourself. This life goal involves dealing with your body. They can either create or inherit an imperfection which they must learn to deal with. If you are such a person, the very thing in your body that causes you so much trouble is a weak spot in your spiritual you. By identifying and controlling it and going beyond it, it forces you to concentrate on yourself. Wondering, you learn, understand energy, and you see the misuses creates imbalances, and understanding it now helps you evolve beyond the earth plane. Your thoughts, the chemicals, have compounded your challenges. Weakness is your spiritual self, ovulating, now manifesting itself in various forms of emotional energy, which will eventually show up as body as physical problems. By looking at your body, you can learn about your inner self. By working on your physical self, you begin to face the emotional problems that caused your body to become ill, and gradually you patch it up and strengthen your spiritual self as a spiritual power that can be used to benefit the universe at large by assisting others to evolve. No one can ever really explain the miracle of the self that awaits you. You have to experience it all through your own efforts. Whenever you set out to do a dedication in love of self, it instantly rewarded on an inner plane, and you experience that reward in life and in the afterlife. To establish strong spiritual growth, you have to be in control of your mind, otherwise it will trick you to accepting less than best. If you were born to a certain name, use it. Do not change it. It has been predestined. Try not to change your identity. Trying it will not help this trip. Your goal is to concentrate on your strengths, believing in yourself, loving yourself, not infringing on others in any way. Going beyond these things now, you will find this hardest to deal with. Accepting that the goal is half the battle, taking responsibility now for yourself is the other half. When you stand with your life firmly in your own hands and say, Force, guides, higher self, I take command of my life. I'm working on the bits I don't like. You now come into cosmic maturity. Events around you become a symbol of what you are. The force supports you because you are not leaning on anyone else. Once you've cleared out all the debris, the karmic debts that have accumulated over the years and other lives, you now develop the power of the force into a new world, the one that is gradually created by the few who know where the destiny of man really lies. What therefore is your gift to humanity? It is to express who you are. You are beauty, you are strength, knowing that you have eternal power. Through your efforts of others would rebuild themselves, for they would then, within the turmoil and chaos, there is no hope and love. There is always a pathway out of the morass. They would be able to see you just the way down the path ahead of them, and they would always say, if only he or she can make it, so will I. This will be now your new gift, the pure self you express, your smile, the way you walk, the things you do, the way you drive your car, the way you handle your children, your daily dedication to all that is around you. This will be your gift. As you develop yourself spiritually, people will come to you, for the force knows how to make its supporters, and will allow you, through the intrinsic value of your spiritual energy, to go further, to shine even more and more brightly, and you will understand more and more deeply that you are the force, you are the God force. There is nothing that you cannot do. There is no real limits to your capacity. Now is a time when individually now we can be self-revered, a time where no governments, no religions, no rules or regulations for each person must understand his responsibility to others. There is no infringement or mass thinking or forced conformity. There is a spontaneous now an enlightenment, instinctive creativity and the laughter of man having fun, through your knowledge and the power that time is now. Certain souls will be attracted to individuals such as you for your expressing your newfound power. For it is in the darkest times the Force now provides a spark of light, the light that is carried by a few, and the later passes it to others. Learning to define our ego. The ego, the personality, the mind of an individual is finite. In terms, it deals in definitions, it deals in beginnings and endings, causes and effects. The infinite aspect of a person, that spark of God force inside of them, deals with is in a more limitless, more infinite perception of what we are looking for as individuals to come out of a timeless, a limitless, less judgmental, less critical, less boxing of things into a definition, and more about being open to accepting energy and ideas coming from all directions. A dedication which now you express in all your daily lives and activities, almost as a type of prayer, as a type of dedication to the power that you exude from within yourself, every pore of your being. This means, of course, acknowledging your successes, taking time out for you, developing a sanctuary where you now can be yourself. When you accept yourself, that you can say lovingly, I am beauty, I am strength, I am love, I am power, you begin to realize that every aspect of your life can be permeated with this divinity in your life. It is with this exhilaration. To change your life, you are looking at now establishing new discipline, establishing a sense of priority in your life, wrapping these concepts into whatever religious or philosophical beliefs you have, and developing honor. Honor is saying, I will do the very best I can in all situations. I will act with love and non-judgment, and in that feeling of positive that all will be found for you, that all your needs will always be met. You'll learn to become a teacher, a helper in the world. Your dedication to the Force, the gods, the angels, will allow you now to carry that light. You are going to want to dispense small amounts of energy here and there, of giving of yourself to all. The greatest gift now you have is not of your material possessions, not of your intellect. It is giving of yourself, your energy. And when you give of yourself, nature and the life force all around you returns that giving back to you. All of your needs now will be met. You will always have what you need, and all your life will become an exhilaration as you watch it unfold and understand your inner relationship to the outer events. It becomes a beautiful journey. It is a quest, and the quest is learning lovingly all about yourself, and enjoy the journey, make a difference with love. Thank you.